Hey, it has been so long, right? Um, and I just want to talk a little bit about where, I've been this past couple months, what I've done, and, what I've learned. So, I've had my troubles, outside of relapse. I wasn't in the healthiest relationship, or at least it turned into not the healthiest thing. Um, and I ended up having to leave the apartment that I had gotten because the lease was up and my relationship had turned sour. And I realized, for my well being, that I needed to move around. So in doing so, I went back to my parents. I was lucky, and I was able to go there. Um, and in doing so, I had to leave my front end development job, which really sucked because I don't have a license at the moment. But that being said, I did come back to my parents. I didn't relapse despite, the nasty breakup, losing my place and my job, all in this short time. Um, you know, so because where I lived is far from my parents' house, and I wasn't going to be able to get to that job anymore. So now I decided that this is a good opportunity for me to redefine what I'm doing with myself, So me and the girl break up. After it becomes toxic, I go home, I leave my job, and now I'm free, right? Free to make decisions. So I decided that I wanted to go into IT, that I love computers, but I wanted to understand more about how they work and maybe not just making, websites like I was. So I got into a class for my ep8 certification through CompTIA, and I'm working on that, and I'm learning another computer language called Python. And I made this goal that I want to be a network engineer. And that's how I'm going to complete the goal that I've talked about in past videos of mine of making 100K a year by the time I'm 40. As I know it's possible. And especially in this field, it's so lucrative. And I wish I could tell anybody and everybody who's like, man, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Try computers. Try it. Because there are so many different avenues. If you are artistic, be a front-end developer. Be a graphic designer. If you are more logic-based, make programs. Write programs, right? Learn how to make simple projects and then build from there. If you are more of a numbers person and numbers make sense to you, do data science. Go over large data sets and come up with conclusions. Businesses pay great money for that. It's not this big overwhelming thing that you see in these movies where people who are experts with computers, they sit down and they start typing in all these random symbols furiously on the fucking keyboard. And then the fucking sign pops up and it's like, you're in. It's not like that. It really isn't. It really comes down to okay, we have a problem, right? Or not even so much a problem. We have a situation. We have a thing. And we're doing this thing. Let's say every day we have to check our email, right? And so the purpose of, or every day we have to check messages from clients. We'll make it even more simpler that way. So we say, okay, how can a computer make my job easier? How can we automate even a very small part of this? And as we go through that process and we figure out how we can automate these daily activities involved with whatever business sector you're in, that's, that is a career. Whatever you end up doing, that is a career. However you do it. If you are, like I said, transferring images, making images, entering data, doing calculations, even helping people set up operating systems, I mean, this is stuff it's not very hard. It is a little different. And so saying it at first, you're going to see things that you don't understand. It'll look overwhelming and you'll want to be like, okay, well, I don't know. But if you make the sacrifice of time, even in very small increments, the way that learning about computers builds upon itself, you will start to understand so many different aspects just by going one step at a time. Like, you learn this one little thing and you learn that thing, but then you learn the next step and you learn that thing, but then you realize that 7 different types of things use that one thing. And now, whenever eventually you have to learn one of those other types of things, you already learned that first part. And so, I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but the fact that it's a pyramid, the information of computer, of like science involving semiconductors is like a pyramid, So, with offshoots, of course, but it's not that hard. It's not. And I'll tell you, like, knowing 3 different languages right now, or I can't tell you that I know them, but that I can look at them and I can understand, not everything, but some things. And what I don't understand, I can learn quickly. Because that's the biggest thing is coders, people in computers, we're problem solvers. We just learn how to solve puzzles. That's it. We're just trying to figure out, okay, this is the problem. This is what I want to make easier, better. And then we do that, But so I just want to, that's not the main purpose, though. That's just an offshoot of what I came here to talk to you guys about today. What I really want to talk about is self-worth, right? And how this kind of feeds into everything that I'm doing. I have to have a good amount of self-worth to shoot for this, right? And that's a decision that I'm making to have more self-worth. I have to look at myself as someone who is capable of learning quickly, someone who is capable of putting the time and effort into being better, dependent on what being better means per job that I walk into. And, having trust that I can figure that out. Because confidence is what it really comes down to. Can you be confident in yourself? See, there's no way that I could be confident that I could walk into, because I have an interview later. I'm not confident I'm going to walk in there and blow them away. No. I'm not confident that I'm going to walk in there and know everything they're talking about. Absolutely not. What I am confident about is that I'm going to try my best, right? I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to honestly give it my all. I'm going to explain everything that I know. And I'm going, if they ask, how I got that knowledge and how I will continue to progress. So I'm going into a job today, an interview for a place that fixes hardware and software on a smaller level. And so, I don't know how to fix an iPhone, for example. You could bring me an iPhone and you could say, do you know how to fix this? And I would tell you I probably can fix it. If there's something wrong, I could probably figure it out. Am I for sure? No. Am I walking into it knowing what's wrong? No, not at all. But I do have a set of problem-solving skills that I've worked on and that I utilize. And I know that I'm always consistently open to learning new things, And keeping those views front and center, I know that I can walk into this place and probably do a pretty damn good job because I'm willing to try, and that confidence shows, and that self-worth shows. I trust me to do my best, and if I fail, well, that's okay because I tried my best. Can't be mad at yourself for trying your best and not being up to someone else or something else's standard. Because all that would tell me is that there's just more to learn, which is okay. There's always more to learn. I mean, knowledge is power. Knowledge is your sword. Knowledge is your shield. Knowledge is your eyes to know what to fight and protect against. So, not knowing something is almost a benefit, because then you get to go and learn it and figure it out and make it yours. But I just want to say today, I know I haven't been posting in a long time. It's been months, but self-worth is important. Self-worth is something that only you can give yourself. Only you. Nobody else, no matter how many times they tell you you're great, no matter how many women like you, men like you, no matter how many people you sleep with, no matter how much stuff you have, no matter how much money is in your wallet, whether you believe in God, you don't believe in God, you're black, white, Mexican, Asian, it doesn't fucking matter. None of that means anything. What really matters is how you feel about the person you look at in the mirror. And if the person you're looking at in the mirror is not someone that you love, then you're not doing something right. And then you need to figure out what the fuck that is and fix it. If you look in the mirror and you say, man, I can't do this. I don't feel smart enough. Well, then go fucking learn something. You say, oh man, I'm too fat, dude. Okay. You think you're fat? And I don't think that aesthetics are really very much important, but if for your health you think that you need to lose some weight, your doctor told you that, then just figure out a way to start even minimally and move towards advancing, realizing the main goal, but only focusing on the next goal right in front of you, the next step. Because those steps build up. I mean, I'll tell you, going from a junkie on the street to someone studying computer science, man, the steps build up. They do. And you can only get there by telling yourself, by making yourself believe that you're worth it, because you are. Because what I do, anybody else can do, and what anybody else does, I can do. Even if it looks hard or it looks out of reach, well, that person had to build those skills too. Nobody's born knowing how to write programs, or no one is just born knowing how to do double backflips or whatever else you want to fucking throw in there, for example. Self-worth is mandatory. Self-worth it's important. So, that's what I came here to say. You say, give yourself some motherfucking self-worth. Let yourself have it. Don't fight it. And if you get up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you're not super happy with yourself, then start taking steps to do better. So it's a saying that my girlfriend and I have back and forth with each other when one of us is like bitching or we're feeling weak. It's like, okay, your feelings are valid. Sure, this may be hard, this may hurt, this may be uncomfortable, you may be frustrated, but do it, do better. Do better, because you can. Do better. Do better. Choice is yours. See you guys later.